It's 4 o'clock in Los Angeles. It's 6 o'clock in Chicago. And it's 7 p.m. And we are live from Philadelphia. Hello, everybody. This
Hi,
is
how are you?
America's Podcast. What's the Buzz? I am the Mad Dog. She's the Pit Bull. And we have a special guest tonight. That's right. Two for the price of one. Cost me nothing for the first one. The second one was a buy one, get one. We have returning guests tonight, Jerry and Louise Bruno. You know, Louise was here,
Hi, how are
I
you?
guess, about 4 weeks ago, maybe 5 weeks ago. How long ago, Louise, were you here?
Yeah, about
Yeah,
a month ago.
yeah,
There
a
was
month
last
last month. Yep.
Okay, so about 4 weeks, about 4 or 5
Yep.
weeks ago. Jerry and Louise are I call them the husband and wife entertainment power couple. They're really nice people, and they owe me $1, so I just got my dollar's worth.
Payback.
How you guys doing tonight? How you guys doing tonight?
Oh, we're
Good,
doing
good,
awesome.
good.
Very
Thank you.
good. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us back.
Oh, you're quite welcome. I wanted to bring you back, Jerry, because you're a musician, singer, songwriter. You've been playing a long time, and your wife sings with you and does her gig on the side too, which you heavily involved in.
He's not the singer,
I
though.
actually don't sing, thank God.
Just the guitar player.
Right? But
I'd love for him to sing.
well, do you sing though, right? I
No,
know
I
you.
don't sing. I don't sing. No one has
Really?
ever heard.
He would love to sing,
Yeah.
but they never really would get the guts up to do
No.
it. But he plays guitar
Oh.
and everything else we said.
I have one of
Just
the
not
scary
singing.
voices.
Well, we're gonna have to change that.
Well, I tell you,
That's okay.
Angela, with all this technical gear behind me, I can't even make me sound good.
Oh my goodness, for real?
Brother, auto tune can make a mop sound good.
Right? Absolutely.
I'm
Trust
giving
me.
AI a challenge right
Because
now.
I can, people call me the guy with the golden pipes. Let me tell you, these pipes can do a lot of things, but they can't sing worth a shit. I had news for you. We are going to talk. We are going to dig deep into entertainment management, band management, what a band or an artist needs to succeed from the point of view of Jerry and Louise Bruno. And tonight, throwing a little bit of shine and expertise on that subject matter, as well as J&L Production Studios, where you are seated right now.
Yes.
And we're going to
We're
talk
in the
about
studio.
that and where that brainchild was given birth to, and we'll talk about the evolution of J&L through the years to where it is now. I actually came across one of your old business cards, which I thought was absolutely brilliant. But this one here is simple, understated, and I think it says everything that needs to be said. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. But let's get into this. So, Jerry, we had Louise on about 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, and talking about the Share show and you're heavily involved in that.
Yes.
I want to talk about how you two met. We got to go back to the beginning. How did you guys meet?
Man, you threw in a sneak. That one went under. I didn't expect that. But
30 years married.
Yeah, but married 30
So about 40 years ago.
yeah.
Oh, so
I
you
guess
stole
it
it from
was
high
love
school.
at first sight. So
No high school,
no,
no.
not for her.
No.
She didn't like me at all.
Really?
No, it's not that. No.
But I was persistent, It took me a little while, and I won her over. I had a big club, and I knocked her out.
I'm
I love
actually a
this guy.
second wife.
Yeah.
I'm a second wife. His
Dragged her home.
Your wife number 2, Louise?
I'm wife number 2. We've been married 38 years. And we
Wow.
were-
Wait a minute.
So yeah,
I've
he
got
was
one
only
for you.
married for a short time.
Yeah, it was a short time.
Short time
I'm on
married.
wife number 4.
Yeah.
Oh, you?
So
The
You
buck
know-
stops here. That's it.
hey, listen, that's up to you. But
Well, let's talk about that, though. I want to talk about this. You guys met 40 years ago, and relatively young people.
yes.
So let's talk about what was the mutual connection?
He owned a bar. He owned a bar in Yaphank.
Yeah, that's how.
And
Yeah.
And I was out with my sister. We were going out, and there he was. And then I saw.
I sent over a drink, and she sent it back.
Oh my
I love it.
God, I love this.
That's beautiful. I love that's a love story, man.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
That's a love story.
I gotta tell you though, I really don't drink. I mean, I really am not
When
really
she
much of
found
a
out-
drinker.
When she found out I owned the bar, she stopped going.
Oh
And
no.
then I had to find, where she went, and then I went to that bar and bought her a drink.
Wow.
Oh my
No,
goodness.
was a hell of a nice guy. I just, I wasn't much of a drinker. I just wanted to dance. Once I was out with my sisters, we were gonna dance, and that
Well,
kind of.
Louise,
I
let me
wasn't-
ask you. Let me ask you the $64 million question, Louise. Did he look better when you were drinking? They
My
all say,
husband
everybody
was always a
says,
good-looking man. My husband was always a good-looking man. He always was,
Well, we're going back a long time.
You
and
go
I
going
had
back,
long hair.
yeah. You had
My hair was long.
longer hair.
Not crazy long, but it was long. And and then I, changed the style and whatnot. So my hair was
Right.
then short.
Right.
And I think she didn't recognize me and she accepted the drink. And as my hair grew back, she started to recognize me.
Oh no.
oh, no
That's
kidding.
not typical.
Now,
That's not
how
typical.
long after this, series of events, did the two of you realize that you had music as a commonality?
Oh, that didn't come on for way, way long time later. Not until our son was 9 years old.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guitar playing something, it didn't come easy. I struggle with it constantly. I'm always, you never, someone says, how to play guitar. No, you never know how to play guitar. It's an ever, learning experience forever. Anyway, there was times where I'd struggle and out of frustration, I put the thing down. And then that little lapse, I met Louise, got married, had 2 kids. And my son was 9 years old, and he wanted a guitar. And it was Christmas. It was Christmas. We bought his Christmas presents. I think I might have told you the story last time. So anyway, you know how kids are. I want a guitar. I want a guitar. I went and found my old acoustic guitar, and I dusted it off to get it out of his system. And I told him, here, play with this. So then naturally, Daddy showed me his song. And I couldn't even remember, much less remember how to play a song, remember even a song I played. So I don't know, I just can't, I start playing Stairway to Heaven. Now my wife is in another room. And I played it well enough at the time for her to recognize it. And she starts singing it from the other room. And it sounded good. And so I stopped playing. I'm like, you could sing? She goes, I sang at my friend's wedding once, or my cousin's wedding, somebody's wedding, right? Whose wedding was it?
I used to sing a lot.
Yeah, so not that I
Didn't
know.
do anything with it,
So that was it. We started a little band, and evolved into that's pretty much was our career for a while there.
That's
And then
awesome.
the shows,
Interesting.
yeah,
My
Wasn't
son's
until
playing
your
bass.
son was 9.
yeah. Well, how kids are.
Really?
They go to
Why?
different instruments? So
What
we ended
was
up
it?
getting
Anything?
instruments.
Was there any particular thing that held you back prior to that point?
Yeah, probably just getting a family together and doing,
Work.
Mhm.
Okay.
trying to get.
Didn't think of
Home
it.
together,
It wasn't in the mainstream then. Although it was when I was a teenager. That so I
Yeah.
wanted to be was a rock star. But
Amelia, questions.
I know that you had said that you had started like a little band. Did y'all decide let's go ahead and do demos and see where this
I should have
leads?
sent you that clip. That first
Yeah, we
band
did.
consisted of my wife, myself, and my son, who switched up to
Yeah,
bass.
you have to see how he looks.
And he was getting good, We got him, sent him for professional lessons, and he was getting good. We had maybe 4 or 5 songs. We'd go to his recital at where he learned to play bass, and different places. And we do these little shows, church things. Our job had a had a talent show, and we went up there as the family band. They loved it that we were a family, you know.
Awesome.
Beautiful. Go ahead, Mill.
Yeah,
Did you
I
guys
have a
like
clip. I should
decide?
have sent that to you.
Oh, did you guys decide to start doing demos to see if maybe y'all could get a recording contract as well as a family?
Uh, yeah, well, Louise is very good at writing lyrics. So once she's do that, we actually wrote a couple of songs together. I mean, I did the music and she did the lyrics. Um, and again, you know, like I never made our own video. You know, the shoemaker that doesn't have a good pair of shoes. Um, as I started making videos and promo kits, I never really made videos. I have plenty of videos of us, but not of our original songs. I had ideas and stuff, but never. I was always busy doing other things than to do it.
Probably now that the studio opens up, we'll reopen up our catalog of
We always entertain, still
Our
doing those
history.
videos. Yeah.
dust off some things and maybe have some fun with them and bring them
Yeah.
back to life.
But
Well,
I
you know,
have
Amelia brings up a good point. You know, the family that plays together. Back in the 60s and 70s, that was quite the thing. I
Partridge
remember,
Family, yeah.
of course, the Cowsills. Who could
Yeah,
forget?
there's a lot
You know,
of family.
America's favorite TV family, the Partridge Family,
Yeah,
right.
who actually went out on tour, folks. I'm not even making this shit
Right.
up.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
no,
you know,
the TV
we're
show,
talking
they
about,
weren't
you
the
know,
real family.
families back in the day who really did play together.
Yeah.
Was there any kind of interest, like a serious interest in creating that kind of persona? You know, Bruno on tour, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, well, absolutely. You know, that's every musician's dream is to, you know, get the right song or just get that right one that clicks. Um, you know, but we kept our day jobs
Thank God.
throughout that. But you're always striving, and I listen. I deal with people on a daily basis that have these hopes and dreams, and you know, all I could do is try to make them come true. Try to do the best video, do the best recording I could for them.
Sure.
Make them feel good about themselves when they slip that disc
Give them,
and
they need.
hand it to somebody.
It's all about the
Yeah.
presentation, and that's what I
Yeah.
get with the studio. I put together a presentation. I said, you know, show what they're about, whether it's a songwriter or you're a cover band, or like Louise, maybe a tribute. Um, always constantly making better demos, updating as new songs enter her repertoire. We have to update the demos. You just get tired. You just want something new and fresh all the time. Or
Sure,
something, you
absolutely.
need that one that's gonna, you know, really nail it for you. But you're always striving for that. Better
Have you ever
record.
come across a band, Jerry? You ever come across a band that had the look, had the sound, had the right music?
Yeah.
Everything was going good, but that one it factor, the intent, that the thing you can't put your finger on wasn't there.
Well, there was just we got to work with so many young artists now. Listen, if I knew what the thing was that I needed to put my finger on it, my finger would have been on there like it was the golden buzzer. But that's just it. You try all different angles, and you never know what, you know, what's going to actually click. You know, you don't know.
Well, I suppose you never know until you
I
try.
think money has a big part of it. A lot of people don't have money to back up their CD. If they want to make 10,000 CDs
It's
and
not
distribute them
not
out,
always about all the.
you know,
money
it's not.
spent.
It is on how much you pushing your. It's push. It's
I'm sure. And all I know is there's artists, you know, who made it big from a little quick recordings they've done, and they made it big time. So it's just being in the
But
right.
because it was who they handed it off to. Once it's done, if it sits in the store, if it sits there idle, it's not gonna do, you have to pass it to the right person. It's gonna
Right.
be, hey, man, that one's the new.
Yeah.
I
You
tell you,
understand, it's passing it to that right
Mhm.
person.
I've had clients in the past. Don't forget, I'm doing this now 20 years, 25 years maybe. Having studios and dealing with musicians. I'm going to get to a point too. Another thing we did, Louise and I did, that I just don't want to interrupt this conversation with us. There were so many that I thought was gonna be a hit. I thought it
Mhm.
was gonna be the one to put me on the map. Because don't forget, like anybody, if I get somebody talented enough that can make it, and they come through my studio,
That's right.
that puts us right on the map.
Absolutely.
That's chalk
Yeah.
up for me. So
Be wonderful to
I'm
know
like,
them.
I'm like that attorney that's representing you in an accident case.
Mm.
I need you to win. Win so I can win. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yes.
I know exactly what you mean. You
Yeah.
guys remember a song back in the day called "Freak Out"?
Yeah. It's the one I'm thinking about.
Yeah, chic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was by a band called Chic. It
Yeah,
was a
that makes
disco
that's a
song,
Chic.
"Freak
Chic.
Out." Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
was
love
in the
Chic.
studio when they recorded that.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
they're
was in
awesome.
the when that song was recorded, and they knew as soon as you should have seen and heard the exuberance and the jubilation. They knew as soon as they hit the last note,
Right.
they knew they had lightning in a bottle.
That's right.
Right.
And I was there for that. I saw that moment happen.
Nice.
Are there moments in your career that you can say what I call the "I was there" moment?
Well,
Yeah.
yes.
Either of
Awarded
you.
a lot of
Well,
people.
yeah, but what that reminds me of, Louise and I, we were involved, and when we were in New York, we did a program, and we worked with all the schools on Long Island. We must have 15, 20 schools. We did a program called Music Idol USA. And we used to go from school to school, and we're talking middle school ages. Sometimes it was the younger grade, not too much high school, but it's just mostly middle school.
Mhm.
And we'd put on this like a talent show.
Right.
Go in and audition the kids, and so many. This was a popular thing. I don't know. I don't think there were some shows here because my partner also did some in Florida, but it was mainstream in Long Island.
Mhm.
And so anyway, we'd get to see these. I don't know, what were they, like 10, 12 years old, 15 years old, maybe not 15, like 12, 13-year-old kids. And boy, let me tell you, in about a 5, 6 year span of doing that, 3 of those kids made it to the television show
Yeah.
Music Idol.
Not Music Idol, American.
American Idol.
Oh,
Yeah.
American
American
Idol?
Idol.
Yeah.
You know Music Idol. Yeah.
From our show, and they were just,
Yeah, it's
and
awesome. Very exciting.
and then the point was sometimes we go to the audition, there'd be 100 kids, and we'd be like, oh man, we're never going to get out of here. 100 kids we have to audition.
Right.
We tell them, we make them do 30 seconds.
Yeah, but you could see when that kid would step on the
We
stage,
only
they would
picked-
own it.
We
They would
picked
own it.
Yes.
40 we picked 40 children out of 100, 150. We'd be there all day listening to Adele songs. Anyway, and some of those kids were so talented, but
Mhm.
3 of them, like we see them, and they come, every year because we were doing this for years. They'd come back now,
Right.
6th grade, and then we'd see them at 7th grade, and then their younger brothers coming in,
Yeah.
back now and it coming up. So yeah, that's when I could hear him then and find it and see it. And I always
Amelia,
said,
questions for Jerry and Louise.
Louise, are you going to learn to produce as well, or are you going to just leave it up to
she
Jerry?
does. She does.
I think I do. I think we make a lot
It's
of
over my
fair,
shoulder.
we kind of push each other back and forth on what
Mhm.
we think is going to work best for, something with the ideas. You know, I do the woman thing, he does the man thing.
You like-
Sometimes he
you like
wins,
the mix?
sometimes I win. But we both have ideas, and sometimes they are a little bit different, you know, going in different directions.
She likes mixing the sound out. She'll come in and she's like, "You need a little more of this here. Bring up the game."
Well, I'm the singer, so I'm gonna be
Yeah.
for the singers, and
Yeah.
he's the guitar player, he's the
I tell you,
guitar ear,
it's all
so
about the
you
ear.
just better, you
Oh,
know.
Yeah.
absolutely.
So she could
Yeah.
walk in. She could walk in. I could be working on
I feel like, oh
something.
my God, that sounds so muffled, and he's
Yeah,
like,
I
what
mean,
the hell are you talking
no,
about? I'm like, you know.
without without uh um going to her ear
Mhm.
tells them. So she'll come in. She'll say, "Dude, you need more of this, more of that." And it's just
Right?
it's
Yeah.
just her. Anybody could do it. Anybody who enjoys listening to music and knows,
Mhm.
like this type of sound of that.
I will absolutely concur with Louise on this. I will tell you every day of the week, I trust a singer's ear
Yes.
every day over a musician's ear because a singer will hear something unique to them that a musician will never pick up on because music is subjective. You play,
Mhm.
for example, you mentioned Stairway to Heaven. You can do Stairway the traditional, Zeppelin way, or you can do Stairway low key and slow it down, or you can do Stairway jazz it up.
Right.
But the singer who has to sing that, they have to know the cadence of that song, and they'll pick it up before you ever will.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They always will. I've been in studios where that's happened. I've been on the wings of a stage where that's happened, and I've been in the audience when I've seen that happen. And so every time, trust the singer.
Yeah.
Always trust the singer.
Only because
Um,
it's a strain. It's a strain game, and you don't want to strain. You want to be
Mhm.
very easy on your throat.
Right.
You know?
Oh,
So,
absolutely.
so I
I'm
think
going to
that's
give you a
basically.
perfect example of what Louise just talked about. One of my favorite bands is Guns N' Roses. And I believe the greatest front man, aside, of course, from Paul Stanley, the greatest front man in rock and roll is Axl Rose. Because
Yes, that's for sure.
Axl
Listen.
is 60, he's my age, he's 66 years old,
Mhm.
and he can still hit those notes
Yeah, he
that
looks
he
Yeah.
did
fabulous.
in his 20s.
Mhm.
In his 20s. Now, okay, he's a little heavier, a little bigger. He can still move around the stage a little slower, but he can still do it. But the
Right.
thing that separates him from other people is he doesn't have to reach to hit the note.
Right. You see?
If you've got to reach, you're trying too hard.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
At that point, put the microphone down,
A lot
pick up
of
your
times.
hat,
A lot of times they-
punch your time card, and say, "I'm gone. I'm done with rock and roll," because you're done.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you're done. But it happens. We see it all the time. I love Paul McCartney,
Mhm.
but Paul, love you, man, but you don't have a voice anymore, bro. Paul, you just can't sing anymore. Either can the other Paul Stanley. He can't sing either.
Right.
His
I haven't heard any
voice is
recent
shot.
Paul McCartney.
It's
What's that say
years
again?
of touring, 2 years of touring, and
Oh my God, yeah. Oh sure.
Yes, yeah, it's a, and then fighting the sound, man. I believe fighting the sound is an issue on every, every time you get on stage, you gotta fight this
Well,
amplify,
Angela,
fight the bass, fight the drum, fight
Oh, yeah.
when you keep stretching a rubber band, what happens?
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
If
it
they
Oh,
if they
sure.
knew right off the
it
bat to
loses,
be
you
comfortable
know.
and respect each other as bandmates,
That's what's happening to your vocal cords.
and then
Yeah.
you respect each other as you don't have to
Singers are like
fool
boxers.
everybody.
They only have a
Yeah.
certain,
You look at a guy like Mick Jagger, who's 83, I think, 82, 83 years old. and can still do the songs he did back in the 60s.
Right?
Yeah, well,
Because
Yeah.
you got to remember some people need
And
to
look at Tom
understand something.
Jones too. Look at Tom Jones, 84.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Still hitting those notes.
There-
And he's another
there's
genre
a
of music,
reason.
but he's still hitting.
There's a reason they can still do that.
Well, they use
Because
those
during
vocals
their
every day.
career, they did not record music that they had to scream over.
Right.
Yes, that's
They're-
right.
They
That's
were
right.
Nick was never a screamer. Tom was never a screamer. Tom Jones has probably
Was
the
operatic.
best control of
Oh.
any singer I ever heard next to
I
Elvis
can
Presley.
fabulous. I love
Got
Tom
a perfect
Jones.
voice.
Oh, he's so good. He's so, and that's
Mhm.
so, and he's so strong. His
Yeah.
voice is still so solid, strong. For
Absolutely.
80
I
years
got a friend
old,
of
that's-
mine. I actually talked about the guy last night. As a matter of fact, my
Mhm.
friend Steve McCoy
Yes.
is the world's #1 Tom Jones tribute artist. He's
Oh,
a good
really?
friend.
Yeah.
He's a good
Mhm.
friend of Tom Jones. In fact, he's the only tribute artist that Tom Jones endorses.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
And Steve had to learn what Tom does. And what Tom does is fill his chest with air. Breathing
Really?
exercises.
know
Singers.
that's
I
all.
want
Oh, I
to
thought you
talk
meant
to you
that he was
singers
doing
out
something
there.
with his shirt. I'm like, well, that's interesting.
Yep. Think from the
Right.
diaphragm.
I want to talk
I'm like,
to
wait a
those.
He had to blow up Superman in there.
I want to talk to those singers out there. It's important that you hear
Absolutely.
what
Oh
we're
my God.
saying.
Well,
Mhm.
that's part of it.
You don't have to scream to
No.
be heard.
Nope.
Right.
You don't have to scream to be heard. A singer should not have to yell. A
Right.
Nope.
song should speak for itself. All you're doing, singer, all you're doing is interpreting those words through your voice.
Right.
And if
Yeah,
that's how
pushing
you
a lot of
choose to
air
do
out.
it, you're not
Pushing
going to
a
be
lot of air.
singing very long.
Right.
Questions, Amelia, for Jerry or Louise?
That's absolutely. You know how when you go into the studio to record, what should you have prepared with you? Should you bring a demo with you? Should you just bring your sound
A
music?
case of water.
Oh my God, yes.
A
Definitely want
case
to
of
rest your
water.
voice. Definitely want to have a rested
Well,
voice. Good night's sleep.
When I went to a studio, when we went to a studio to record
Mhm.
our first one, we just brought I brought my guitar. She brought, what did you bring in?
Oh, what? Yeah.
Brought her
Oh,
lipstick.
yeah. Well, tons of makeup
She
and,
brought her
and
lipstick.
outfits and clothes and.
Yeah, she
Right.
knew.
You know, we're not much of drinkers, so we kind of have
We
our
knew
us like
her.
coffee. It's usually my coffee
or
and water.
tea.
I'm
Thank
an oat coffee drinker
Yeah.
off the top.
Me
like,
too.
So, yeah.
Like people sometimes as people come to us, young art, a lot of artists like to
Yeah.
sing to tracks. You know, not everybody
Mhm.
can run around with a band.
Right.
Although I am capable of doing a band,
Mhm.
it's a lot of fun. You know, recording a band. I can do it live or track them one at a time. But a lot of artists come in. They'll have their tracks. Some of the newer songwriters they like to sometimes bring me a track and have me shorten it or change it or double up a chorus so I can, work on a track they, I don't know, whether they downloaded or whatnot, and they needed it customized to that length of their song or change the key or something to that nature. So I would work on that, refab it just where they could sing to it their new lyrics.
Jerry, Louise, how did J&L Studios come to be? Who
Right.
gave birth to that idea?
We were on our friend Lou Turner Tonight show. God rest in peace. Our friend, he
Right.
just recently passed away. Years ago, we were in a band, and I saw the Lou Turner Tonight
It
show
was a public,
on
public access
Public
TV.
Access. And I sent him our demo, and he invited us on the show. And then before you know it, we became friends. And Jerry and I were helping him with his show.
We always
And
loved the videos.
Then I'm like, you know what?
I did videos back in high
I
school
want to do it all the time. So let's go
With-
ahead.
with the sports. I was in the AV room and I used to videotape the sports in our
Mhm.
high school. with the AV teacher and stuff. He'd leave me out there doing that. And so it was always loved videotaping. And there was times I taped every one of my friends' weddings. I'd be the videographer in the doing that and edit pieces together back when we only used one camera back then. But yeah, we went on Lou's show because we had
Not as Cher. We were as a band
Yeah,
thing.
long
It had
before
nothing to do with Cher.
we would Don't Ask. We went on Louise and I and a drummer and a bass player.
Classic rock. It was all classic rock.
And we had a blast on the show. And I was in a
Yeah.
real television studio. It was Cablevision,
It was nice.
and so he was kind of easy to work with, and I said, if ever you need help, give me a call, and I would love to help around here, and maybe get my told him I have a little bit of experience, but
Yeah.
I would love that. He did. He called me up. He needed help, and I helped him. One thing led to another. We became best. We've been friends for many years. So that's going way back. He just unfortunately just passed away.
Yeah.
We were so upset. He visited us last Thanksgiving, and came out to Florida, spent a couple of weeks with us, and then he passed away. He got sick, and he passed away. It was like,
Yeah.
But when we went on his show, we went. I said, you know what? I really want to do this I have ideas and I want to do something my own.
Yeah.
So naturally, we just did it.
Yeah.
And we did it as a team,
yeah,
and
we helped him with his. But that what she's saying is sometimes I'd say, hey Lou, Louise and I made a little thing. Can you air it on your show? We'd make a little video at home and give
Yeah.
it to him. And he always did, yeah. Good, not good, whatever. He'd always throw it on there,
Mm-hmm.
That's what friends do, And the next thing you know, the Jerry and Louise show, we had our own Cablevision. But we were working out of our house, the backyard, the attic, wherever.
and Cablevision too. We go
Well,
to
we
Cablevision
would-
too sometimes.
Yeah, but most of the time we would do it at home. I bought a couple of cameras and we
Yeah.
started our show.
Can I share something with you?
What do you got?
That happened to me the almost identical same way.
Well, we have a
almost
lot in common,
identical.
Angelo. We have a lot.
I was a guest on a show. And it's funny how things work out. I was a guest on a show in Atlantic City called it was WWAC TV, Channel 53.
Ooh.
And I was a guest on the show speaking on a subject matter at the time. And about a week later, my phone rang and it was the station manager of the station offering me my own television show. Because apparently the reaction that my appearance got on this particular show
Very
is
cool. Yeah.
the biggest reaction they ever had.
Oh, that's so awesome.
And I ended up doing 3 years in Atlantic City at WWAC
God.
Channel 53. Here's the funny part. And Amelia will tell you, I'm not making a word of this up. We got a friend of there in Florida named Johnny Patillo.
Yes.
And Johnny sang with the original Danny and the Juniors and the Duprees.
Oh wow.
And Johnny spent 32 years on the road with Tony Orlando, his best friend.
Oh my God, we know Tony.
Yeah.
Okay.
Orlando.
Now, wait a minute.
It was on my
Look,
show.
We're going to get
And-
we're going to get Tony. We're going to get Tony on this show because Johnny promised him, and you're going to fucking deliver, John.
Yeah, he's delivered a lot of stuff that he promised me so far.
Here's the funny thing:
Mhm.
Johnny Patillo had a television show at WWAC Channel 53, same time I did. We never met each other.
Really?
We never ran into each other in the halls. His studio recorded in the daytime. I recorded at night. Everything was different. Our ships never crossed.
Right.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, that happens.
35 years later, we meet on this show.
And
Oh,
I
right.
met him in person.
Oh my God, that's
And, yeah,
awesome.
and Anita, Amelia
Uh-huh.
got, not only did she get to meet him, but Amelia gets a phone call from Tony Orlando.
I
Yeah.
did.
God, that's wonderful.
All right.
Mhm.
Shortly
So
after her
cool.
husband passed, she got a condolence call from Tony Orlando.
And I got to meet Johnny in person the same day.
Wow.
and
Oh my
Well,
God.
he's like that. He's
Yeah.
like that. You know,
Yeah,
Great
when
guy. Well,
we
we'll
did a
spend a
show
little
with,
time. I want to spend a little time now talking about your experiences, good and bad, working with bands, working in the music business, dealing with producers, promoters, dealing with recording companies, because God knows I've had my share. You want to spend a couple minutes talking about that and what? Well,
most of the bands were
do this.
fabulous. All the bands we
Why
did
don't we
were
do it like this? Why don't we I'll start off with Louise and then Jerry, you pop in that way.
I'm sorry.
But
we
let
just-
me pinpoint the question this way, Louise. Let's go best and worst. The best and worst experience in dealing with the recording industry. We'll put it like we'll blanket it like that.
the best through
And
friends of-
I'm looking at this woman with no makeup on, and she looks like Cher sitting there.
Oh,
And her
I'm-
hand
oh, I
is-
have makeup. I got my Louise makeup on. But you know what?
Your Louise makeup.
We definitely had a thrill in our life that I've never had before. We got to share experiences with bands all over Long Island.
we always
The
get
best-
center
The ones the ones that made it, the ones that tried to make it, the ones that didn't make it, the ones that are still trying to make it, the ones that died trying to make it. We've really met a really bunch of great people. And I was fortunate to get my God.
Did you
Eddie
guys
Money, Eddie
ever
Money. Eddie Money. We went to go see Eddie Money at a
Did
Patio
you
Theater.
guys ever meet the nicest guy ever in rock and roll?
Yes, Eddie Money. He came, he was on our show.
Eddie was a sweet guy. There's one better, still with us.
D
Name's
Snyder.
D. Snyder.
D Snyder,
Yes,
we met
yes,
too. He
yes,
was on our show.
yes,
So
yes,
D.
By
D.
Great guy.
Snyder
very
is
great guy.
the sweetest, nicest guy ever. You would
And
never.
also Randy
meet-
Jackson. Randy Jackson from
See,
theater was on our
Oh
meeting.
God, yeah.
We had so many
that was
nice
our-
guys.
D.
that was our
Snyder
honeymoon trip, yeah.
is not. He is not his character. Let's put it that way.
Oh
Right.
God, no, not at all.
that's
He's such a- and his wife is so
that's a-
beautiful.
oh
Oh my
my
God. What a gorgeous beauty. They were
His
really
wife. Well, let me tell you something. His wife, she's a full-blooded Italian, baby.
Yeah, yeah.
she
Sure,
does
you know.
she's beautiful, beautiful. And
Oh,
you know,
absolutely.
it really was
absolutely. Yeah.
Well, I think we had great experiences in many all these, you know, we've met so
Well,
many. The
Like Alice
Village
Cooper
people-
says it all the time. How when he goes into on his stage, he goes into a character. That's a part he's playing.
Exactly.
And,
Yeah.
and that's how it is with D. Snyder. You know, he comes out with that hair and that spooky makeup. I remember the first time I seen him.
Yeah.
I walked in a club out east, and
I
it
did
was
stole my
scary.
show. You stole my part of the
I'm
show.
sorry, I'm
It was
sorry.
gone. But you take it, Jerry. Take it,
But
take
D.
it.
Snyder, the
Take
first time
it.
I
seen
love
him,
her.
Take it over, JB.
back in the club, I was like, "What the heck is that?" But it's you know it works for them. It works, but they're a completely
Oh,
different
God, yeah.
person.
Mhm.
He's a
Well, you know,
coffee
there's
loving man, you know. And
there is a kindred spirit between the music industry and my old industry. I've only done two
Oh, yeah.
things in my life.
Yes.
You're going to love this one. Professional wrestling and music.
Oh my God,
And
what
they
a
have a lo-
combination. What a combination.
Jerry
Oh,
just
no, and,
mentioned
and,
Jerry
the
just
girls wanna have
mentioned-
fun.
No, hear me out, because I'm going to make a point. Jerry just mentioned the key that
Character.
connects them.
Mhm.
The characters.
The character.
Their characters. Here's the
It's talk
problem, though.
therapy.
Here's the problem. Hear me out. And I want people out there listening to hear me. Hear me out on this one because it's critical and it's important. They say sometimes it's, what was it they say? Never meet your idols. You'll always be
Mhm.
disappointed.
Mhm.
That didn't happen to me. It happened one time, but I met the king of all idols. Okay, I got to meet Elvis,
Oh my
Okay.
God.
and he was. I don't think he knew where he was, so he was in a good mood. You know, he would he was just happy to be anywhere.
Mm.
I was 5 feet from him. Okay, and I don't think
Very cool.
he knew where he was,
Wow.
but
Hmm.
he was still Elvis. When he hit the stage, all that shit went away.
That's
He
right.
became Elvis.
That's right.
On the opposite end of that, I met a very well-known saloon singer who was a real fucking prick. There was a room full of beverage and not a bottle of water to be found. Let's put it that way, okay?
Oh my God.
But he did it his way.
Yeah.
Kabish?
Yes. Oh my
Mm.
God.
Okay. Because he could be, let's be honest about it. He's Italian, God rest his soul. He could be a little too direct
Yes.
sometime.
Yeah. That's. Mm-mm.
But there are people like that. And
Absolutely. Oh my
I've
God.
been very, very fortunate. I've met Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons, Ace, and Peter Chris, the four original
Oh,
members.
please. Oh,
I was fortunate, a long time ago to meet some incredibly influential. I met Mick Jagger,
Oh my
sweetheart
God.
of a guy.
Oh, you've been around.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And now you got Jerry and Louise on your show.
There you go.
Ronnie Van Zant, God rest his soul, the Leonard Skinner.
Oh my God, yeah.
And then I met they were sweet guys.
Mhm.
Peter Frampton, sweet guy.
Oh my God.
Tommy James, sweet guy. Nice. Bruce Springsteen. You can't get any more grounded than Bruce.
Yeah,
And
was
Bon
at the
Jovi.
camp, we went home, and Bruce came the very next day. I missed it.
The
I missed it.
difference,
We were
I
at- we were
think,
at an event
Jerry.
where it was a few days.
Can I tell you, Jerry, what I think the difference is that makes all the difference in how they treat you is where they come from. I found I'm skewed in this way, but I believe that entertainers that come from New York, Jersey, Pennsylvania, the East Coast, our crew, they're the nicest people in the world. The assholes on the West Coast, I just said what they are. They're the assholes on the West Coast, okay? That's just what they are.
Yeah.
Amelia, I want to ask you, I've never asked you this, Amelia. I want to ask you, since I got
Right.
Jerry and Louise here. The nicest entertainer you ever met and the one that was a real prick.
Well, I can tell you that I have not met a real prick, but Jeff did, and it wasn't. It was a lead singer, maybe a lead singer of Van Halen.
Really? Oh
Van
my God.
Halen.
Yes, because
That's
Jeff,
something else.
when he worked here in Florida at one of the Holiday Inns. He said he used to meet all the singers you could meet, REMD, REMDNC or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but they were really nice guys. He worked there, and he met Quiet Riot. They were all really nice guys.
Quiet Drummer.
Yeah,
Frankie Banali we met too. Yes, we
and Roseanne Barr was a real.
we had him on the show too.
New Quiet, not the new
And
now, but
Roseanne Barr, he said, was a pain in the ass. She just give me two there
Roseanne
where I need
Barr
to go.
was politically active. That's why she had a lot of political stuff on her
And
shoulders. There
he
going
met
down.
who else did he meet? Let's see, Julio Iglesias.
Oh my God, the son too. Yeah. Emilio and yes,
Yeah.
Enrico.
And he
Oh,
was
his son?
No,
Enrico Iglesias?
Yeah, he met him.
Good kid.
And they're really nice people. And he said that pretty much all the wrestlers, like when they were here for the WWE event, and he said that he saw Andre the Giant just drink beer like crazy.
Oh,
and
God, yeah.
and of course, I met Sylvia in concert for real. She was really sweet and kind,
Oh
like
my
you said at one time. The one that I met that was real prick was Hank Williams Jr.
Oh my
Really?
Oh
God.
yeah,
I can't
that's
believe
just
it.
Hank though.
Yeah, that's just his character, I guess.
We've
persona.
had. I'm going to share this with Jerry and Louise because they're like family now, so we could say
Yeah.
this. On this show, and we're not shy about telling you who we like and who we
I
don't.
know.
Mhm.
We love you
I see
guys
that.
because you're our kind of people,
Oh, that's awesome.
and,
Thank
and
you.
you're Italian, so that makes it okay. But the nicest entertainer we've ever had on this show, hands down, the queen of country music, Lacey J. Dalton.
Oh yes,
Oh my
Really?
God.
hands
That's awesome.
down.
Wow.
Now,
she loves Angelo.
the not so nicest we ever had here was a real POS that I did. In fact, I cut their interview short by about a half an hour.
Wow.
What should I even say their name, Amelia?
Go for it.
You go for it. You tell them.
You tell him it was yours.
No, I'm going to throw you under the bus. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
All right. So what we had, an actor here.
Yeah, you don't have to
who-
say the name.
Very
It's-
well known actor who was, I think he was looking at the mirror when he was doing our show because he just really loves himself a lot.
Oh boy.
Who's that? Now you got me
He
curious.
used to be one of our favorite people, a guy named Ronnie Marmo. I'm going to just tell you who it was. Ronnie Marmo is a hell of an actor, but by the third appearance, you could tell that Amelia and I's charm had worn off on him. And then the real Ronnie showed up.
Oh, you had him back for 3 times.
The real Ronnie showed up,
hmm
and where the hell was he? In Chicago that night? Doing
yeah,
a
he
play,
was like
right?
on a layover or something, and
Yeah.
something like that. But
And he was he was doing a show somewhere, and he was in a hotel room waiting for, I don't know, a fucking airplane, whatever.
yeah,
And
Yeah, it might
what
have
a
been.
schmuck, man.
Yeah.
I said, well, listen, have a safe flight, safe travels, and good night, and get the fuck
Mhm.
out of here.
Oh, maybe he was having a bad day.
Bad day. There's no
He
bad
said-
day when
he
there's
said he was on your show a couple of times, and then one time
Jerry. Let me explain the rule of show business. When that camera's in front of you, you can't have a bad day.
no, but we're talking a layover at an airport. They could be.
I
pretty
don't
brutal.
care. He knew that coming into it because I was booked,
Right,
brother.
right.
yeah, because he told us too. He goes, "I'll
When
be
that-
happy to do the show. There'll be a layover. I have plenty of time to talk to you guys."
Eddie Money did our show when he was on his way to the airport, and we had a great time. I love him. He sang for the
Yeah.
soldiers. Oh, I wanted you. So
My-
amazing.
For,
You're right, it's a personality thing. This
remember
man
Johnny
was
Whitaker?
amazing, and he did the same thing.
Johnny Whitaker was
It's
trying to
funny
do our
'cause he-
show on and driving while he was a passenger.
Oh my
Driving.
God, that's so
I'm gonna,
awesome! Wow, that's really
I
great.
have a guy I'm going to send to Jerry and Louise.
hmm
I have a guy I'm going to send to Jerry and Louise.
Oh, if
He's-
their place is haunted,
I
don't send them
appreciate
those
he,
people.
he's here in New Jersey, Pennsylvania area.
Mhm.
Nice.
His name is Doug Cates. He's a singer-songwriter.
Oh yes, he's great.
I believe this guy has the it factor.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
fantastic.
I think he's got the it factor. I'm going to send you his number, and I'm going to send you his links. Spend a couple of minutes, you and Louise, watching
Yeah,
his
we'd love
video.
to, Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure it's fantastic.
And if you feel
Yeah.
like that he's worth doing something with, please let me know. Bring him to Florida.
Yeah, bring him
Please
down.
bring him to Florida. He'll pay his way down.
Mhm.
But if you
I would
like him,
love
you're
to.
paying his.
I'd love
But if
to.
you like him, you're paying his way home.
Definitely, we'll be opening
Amelia,
soon, so hopefully we'll have
questions
some
for,
connections.
Jerry or Louise? You
Yeah.
got questions for Louise or for Jerry?
Yeah,
then?
if what would you guys, are you guys open right now, taking clients or
Today, in the town of Newport Richey, the city of Newport Richey, today I got my certificate. So it was.
Oh, fantastic.
I'm allowed to open.
So we're legal.
We want to do a grand opening thing. So We didn't know what day the certificate.
Our
was.
sign will be here tomorrow.
Sign's coming tomorrow.
12 o'clock tomorrow, I think the sign is coming.
Certificate here today.
More formal, a little more formal. You know, we want to really be a little bit more.
I
So
want to
everybody's in
take.
the area, in the Newport Richie area.
Say
stop
Angelo,
down.
I'm sorry.
I want to take a second, you guys, and show everybody.
Thank
This
you.
is Jerry and Louise at yahoo.com. That's where you can reach them. The Jerry and Louise Show at Yahoo. They are a full production and recording studio. They do AV, they do sound and artist development. Jerry will take care of your needs, your wants and desires, and he and Louise will make this happen. If you want,
Absolutely.
ask. If you don't ask, you don't get. That's how it is in show business.
Right?
You can reach them at 631-394-0696. And they are in Newport Richie, Florida, somewhere in that vicinity.
It's an hour away from me.
Not far from
We
Amelia.
got to get
As a
together.
matter
You're
of
gonna
fact.
come here.
Bring him.
Emilio.
I wanna-
Let me
You
know
gotta
when
stop in.
Well, thank you.
I want to show a little bit. This is a Jerry and Louise in action. There's my favorite picture. I love that soundboard.
Oh,
man.
yeah, he's got.
There you go.
Oh, I love
They
that.
cartooned themselves right there. That's a beautiful
Yeah.
pic.
Yeah. Oh, AI.
And there's Louise with her grandfather.
That's the recent one. That guitar
What we
was
are
a
going to
gift
do
from
right
Louis,
now,
you know.
just give me a minute. We're going to take a little break, and we will be back right after this word. You guys out there, you're watching the show. If you're struggling, if you need help, we here at What's the Buzz Podcast, we're your friends as well as your entertainment and your source for news and all of the above. We care about you. We want you to be well. I want you to take a look at these numbers that we've compiled for you. A lot of phone numbers Amelia and I put together for you. This is for you. For expert bodywork and collision repair, there's only one place in Clementon, New Jersey. It's Bruce's Collision Center at 114 White Horse Pike in Clementon, New Jersey. Call Bruce at 856-783-1475 and tell him the Mad Dog sent you from WWTF Radio, global and around the world. Do you have sweaty balls or volleyball netty balls? It's time to make them ready balls. The Manscaped.com Lawnmower 3.0 will do the job and clean your knob with its patented no-nick head, so your head will function as desired. Enter promo code Wrestling Future for a generous 20% discount. That's enter Wrestling Future for a 20% discount. Manscaped.com. And Wrestling with the Future, going balls to the walls with Manscaped.com. And the Lawnmower 3.0, your balls will thank you. And so will we. We are back on WTBR Radio 88.7 BRS around the world. People say to me all the time, what BRS mean? It's broadband radio system. That's where you can subscribe to hear us. And we've got 17 million or so of our best friends that have subscribed. Join them, will you? Come on. What are you waiting for? Yep. Oh, by the way, I want to say a big shout out to our friends at Podcast Addict. Every once in a while in this business, you get surprised by something you've done. And this was a surprise because this literally came out of nowhere. It used to be back in the day, if you did something well, people would like send you an invitation to a gala and they would present you with something. Now they just email you shit. Okay. But I want to say thank you to Podcast Addict
Yes,
for
thank you.
this. Podcast Addict is one of the biggest podcast streaming platforms on planet Earth, and they have awarded us for excellence in podcast entertainment in the talk and variety category, presented by Podcast Addict Choice to What's the Buzz podcast and WWTF and WTBR Radio, 88.7 BRS and Mad Dog Media. And we thank them. You guys don't know how much we thank you. I appreciate everything you do for us, that you listen every week, to the people who join us in our chat. And there are people in our chat tonight that we haven't even gotten to, that we probably won't get to because we're having just too much fun with Jerry and Louise. Thank you, guys.
Congratulations, guys. That's
Congratulations.
wonderful. God bless. That's
But
awesome.
before we do, I want to put this back up again. This is very, very important. Take this down. Snapshot it if you need to. It's J&L Recording Studios, the Jerry and Louise Show at yahoo.com. They do AV production, sound engineering, and artist development. Jerry Bruno is your guy for that. If you need help with your vocals, Louise Bruno's your lady in waiting for that one as well. But give them a holler at 631-394-0696. What are you waiting for? Come on. Tell them the Mad Dog sent you.
Thank you.
You are quite welcome. Amelia,
Yes.
take this round and then I will take us home.
Absolutely. It just, I was going to say, just let me know when you're going to have your grand opening. I'd be happy to be there.
Yeah, we're
Oh
gonna
my
have the
God,
official
that'd be great.
grand opening. Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
tell you what,
send
when
the text.
Amelia does that, she's going to be representing the show.
That's
And
wonderful.
we will
I'm
have,
so
I'll
excited.
make sure that she's got camera and mic, all the stuff that she
Yeah,
needs.
so that's we want to do a little thing.
Yeah,
Maybe have some
signs
bands
tomorrow.
going down
Absolutely.
playing.
Sure.
So,
Make a big
Absolutely.
thing
We
out of
would
it.
love to be part of your grand opening.
Yes.
That would be awesome.
Absolutely, for certain. Who's here? Oh, Scott's my brother-in-law.
Scott.
Says, congratulations, Uncle Mad Dog.
Go Mad Dog. I love it.
Uncle Mad Dog, I love it. That's my brother-in-law. Crazy, good guy. He's a character, man. I ought to have Scott on the show one night. He and I are gonna. We found that we have a little animal here in New Jersey called the Jersey Devil. We just found out what the Jersey Devil is. We now there's folks. There's a real Jersey Devil, and it's a real animal, and we know what it is.
There's a hockey team named after that too.
wow.
But you got to wait for that show to find out.
Okay.
Jerry Louise, promote away. You got about 7 minutes to promote whatever the hell you want. Go for
Right
it.
ahead.
Well, come on down. Our doors are open. Come see what we're about. Let me show you what we can do for you.
That's
You know,
right.
whether you need a website, a video, or
Recording, rehearsal, demos, lights,
we'll put the
anything
whole
to do
package
for your
together.
entertainment needs.
And you can reach them. The physical address is 7131-2 US 19, Newport Richey, Florida.
Yes.
That zip code is 34652, and you can stick that in your GPS. It'll get you right to their front door, baby.
Absolutely. Yep.
And tell them the Mad Dog sent you. Or if you can't remember it, just bark. Go. "Hoo, hoo." They'll know who you're talking about. Tomorrow night is open forum on What's the Buzz. You never know with open forum. We could go anywhere. The rabbit hole is wide open.
Yeah.
We have some major guests coming up. I want to tell everyone now we are reaching out to the soon-to-be former governor of New Jersey, Phil Murphy. We are trying to be his first interview when he leaves office. The governor knows that I have been critical of his administration for the last, God help us, 8 years.
Oh, dear.
But he did get pot legalized in New Jersey, so that's cool. So now you can smoke your weed and not worry about going to jail for it. Anyway, thank you, Governor Murphy, for that. And he increased the minimum wage to like
Nice.
$13 an hour, some crazy number like that. Whatever.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a high minimum. Well, look, you can't work for $6 an hour. Who's working for $6
Oh my
an hour?
God, like it's terrible. Not with
Yeah.
all the prices going up the way they are. It's
You
just
know, trust me, Louise, that show's coming too, baby. I got news for you.
the cost of living.
Yes.
What I want you guys to do, just promote yourself. But where can people reach you on social?
Facebook.
Usually Facebook.
Jerry Bruno and Louise Bruno. And
Do you have a YouTube presence? You got a YouTube channel?
yeah, it's the Jerry and Louise Show. J&L Studios. I have a channel under each one of those.
Okay. Are you on
Okay.
Instagram,
Yeah.
Jerry, Louise? You guys on it? Okay.
Absolutely.
I want to
Yeah,
make sure I have
okay.
to cover all the bases for you, Jerry, because you might
Yeah.
forget.
Yeah, well, I have them
I
all
don't really use the
together, so
Instagram. I kind of do Facebook. Do you do that, Laurent?
it is,
I
yeah.
don't really. I guess me doesn't
Yeah,
want to.
it's on all the platforms.
Good.
I just don't sit there and edit each one. I have them all linked so I post something, it goes to all.
Goes to all.
There
of
you
them.
go.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah,
That's how I do it because I hate social media.
Yeah,
It
it's
does.
too much
Not that
hours
haste.
of sitting. And
it does. It's very time consuming.
Yeah, I mean, look, Jerry, it's a full-time job. Come on,
Yeah.
you know.
it's true.
Social media is a full-time
Yeah,
job.
it is.
I'll tell you.
Ask
I don't know how
Amelia.
you
That's
all
why
in
she's
your
getting
place,
fired next week.
there's- I haven't left here.
You
before
guys
2 o'clock in the
hiring?
morning yet.
The wire, he's been wiring and rewiring and wiring, and then the camera's not working. Then he goes home, the lights are
Yeah.
on, the lights are on. It's
I
like,
pulled
oh my God.
wires
It's like a
in the
game.
past month, and
Well, I'll tell you what. Hang out with us. We're going to go off the air. We are up against our clock. Stay with us, and we'll be right back. Folks, we are at that 8 o'clock hour. It's time for us to say goodnight. But before we do, we want to remind you always, please, the world is crazy enough. Be kind to each other.
Yeah.
Greet each other with a smile. It takes more. You know, it takes more to be angry than it does to smile and be happy at somebody. Do you know that? It takes less muscles to smile.
right.
So be kind, be happy. We will see you, Lord willing, in the creek don't rise. We will see you tomorrow night on Open Forum, where you never know what the hell is going to happen on this crazy place. For
Right.
Amelia, the Pitbull Chapman, for Jerry and Louise Bruno, the
Take
power
care.
couple
Good
of
night.
South
Thank
Florida
you.
Entertainment. I am the Mad Dog. Be good. Be kind. We'll see you then. Take care,
Good night.
folks. God bless.